So, Nightcrawler's getting a limited series called Uncanny Spider-Man, where he will take up the name of Spider-Man, or maybe it's how like Jane Foster's Mighty Thor, so he won't be Spider-Man but Uncanny Spider-Man. That one get confusing. This is a part of the Fall of the X storyline, which is likely even happening just because of the Krakoa era not getting the best response from some fans. Even if I have to be honest, I did enjoy it. However, the Fall of the X will likely lead things to being the status quo once again, which also I'm kind of fine with, but I did like the Krakoa era, and I hope they don't just forget that, because there were some pretty interesting ideas there that I really did enjoy. Now, for this series, I'm not entirely sure how to feel about it. Now, Nightcrawler is actually my favorite X-Men. Close second is Storm, then Rogue, then Shadowcat. So Nightcrawler getting a series in general is very exciting to me. However, current Spider-Man comics are very interesting to say the least. And I haven't exactly been enjoying a lot of them. So I'm not entirely sure if that will influence this series, and if it does, I'm not entirely sure how it's going to be represented in the series. Will it be a big part of it, or will it only be like a minor part of it? And as for Nightcrawler's design, honestly, I really do enjoy the costume. However, I would have maybe made the black parts blue because it does look a lot like Miles Morales because of the color scheme. However, that's only like a nitpick because it is still a pretty solid costume. And I do like the fact that he's kind of like embracing the fact that he's a mutant with the tail out, with the three fingers, his pointy ears. He could have easily hid those things under a costume, but he didn't. Well, maybe not the fingers, but he definitely could have hit his tail if he really wanted to. Now, like I said, I'm not entirely sure how I'm meant to be excited for this series because I am, but I'm also scared because of the Spider-Man recent comics, and it's just a mixed reaction I think I have at the moment. Because I love Nightcrawler, and I want the series to be really good. I really want that. But a part of me is very scared it won't be. However, of course, everyone has their own opinions, and you very much could like it even if I don't. I'm also curious how it will tie into other stuff going on in the Marvel Universe, like how will it tie in a part of the Fall of X storyline? Also, recently there was a Nightcrawler and She-Hulk connection going on in her own book, so I'm curious if they'll try to bring any of that in. I don't know, I'm really curious. But also scared. But I'm trying to stay positive, and I really hope this series is good. So far, from what we've seen, which is just the cover and art, and a few announcements, I am somewhat excited. I think it looks good so far. I'll say that. I think it looks good so far, and I hope they don't mess it up. And I apologize if you're super excited for the series and I'm being cynical, or if you're very much against the series and I'm being too positive. Because you can be either or. I'm not trying to influence your choice on reading this comic or anything. I'm very much going to be reading it regardless if I like it or not from the get-go. Because I like Nightcrawler. That is really probably the biggest reason why. And the whole idea of him becoming Spider-Man is an interesting one, which obviously isn't permanent because they're obviously always going to go back to Peter Parker. They've tried Ben Reilly, they're doing Miles Morales, but they always go back to Peter. Which I'm not complaining because I love Peter Parker too. But I also love Miles Morales. Not really Ben Reilly, I'm sorry. So, what are your thoughts on this series? Do you think that it's going to be good? Do you think it's going to be bad? Do you think it's going to be mediocre? Do you think it's going to be just okay? Which is probably the same as mediocre, but I'm not entirely sure why I separated them. Because I'm pretty sure you would consider okay and mediocre the same thing. Anyways, that's it. Like always, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!